All right. Are you gonna help me do this? You've got to act natural. Keep your drooling to a minimum, okay? You can't grab it. I don't know how long this video will be. I made the list last night finally because I thought if you're gonna be a professional YouTuber, you need to plan ahead. But obviously, as I read the things, different ideas might come to mind. So they say never work with children or animals, but here we are. So yeah, just lay down and fall asleep. So as Luke hopefully does not fall off the bed, we're not going to get too bogged down with everything, are we? What are you doing? You nearly walked right off the edge of the bed. A lot of people ask me, how can you afford to live? So I'm going to go through the list. You can comment below if you have any questions or if something in particular stands out. I think what I might do is I might do, like in the description box, I'll do like the list of all of the things that I mentioned. And then you could like go in the comments and you could write like number 7. If the 7th thing on the list made you think, hey, don't fall off the bed. Oh my goodness. Or if you disagree or you agree or you do other things. This is purely to share with you guys, hopefully to encourage you to demystify things, because that's like a huge misconception that people have. They either think you're like, what happened? Bro, is that what you want? Straight away. I'm trying to be professional here. I don't even know what I was saying. He's so distracting. But they either think you're like some millionaire and you have like unlimited money, or that you live with nothing and you're like beyond destitute and that you can't live in between those two things. And I'm here to say that that's not true for us. Why are you pulling my hair? The number one thing that I tell people is we live below our means. If you are earning this much money, do not get a house that is like up here. Get a house that is like down here. Why are you pulling my hair? Luke. I put Luke out in the lounge room with his siblings, and all of his siblings are being exceptionally loud. So we will see how we go, but we'll continue. As I was saying, if you're earning this amount of money, I don't understand why people get mortgages or outgoings like this close to the top level of what you earn. Ben and I bought this house like 16 years ago, and it cost us $300,000, which back in the day seemed like a ton of money. But obviously now, if you look at real estate in Melbourne, that's really not a lot of money. But we made sure that we have always lived below our means, so that if there are rate increases or anything like that, we can still afford to live here. Like, that's the most important thing, right? A roof over your heads is very important. Living below your means is the best way that you can actually survive in today's day and age. Live below your means is number 1. Number 2, do without. So we are more than happy to do without having things if it means that we are not stressing ourselves out thinking, how are we going to pay for this stuff? Or how are we going to keep up with this expense? So we are more than happy to do without for the greater good. So you can look at it in many different ways. It could be having to wait longer, not doing these impulse purchases, or expecting things to be done immediately, or being talked into a more expensive whatever. We are happier to do without to be able to afford to keep living the quality of life that we are living. We look after the stuff we own. So that means you buy something and you care for it. I've changed my shirt, if you couldn't tell. Luke is in bed. The next things on my list are not buying junk food and not buying takeaway. That doesn't mean that we never do those things. It's mostly because of trying to avoid vegetable oil, but it's also because it's so expensive. And I think about things like if I were to buy Macca's and like the quality of the food and how long I would stay feeling full and whether or not I'd have a tummy ache later on, stuff like that, is like, it makes it very easy decision for me, and it saves me a lot of money. Eating meals at home, cooking our own food saves a lot of money. And it's like a ripple effect, isn't it? Because if I eat real food and good food and not too much food, then I won't get fat and unfit and unhealthy and end up having to go to the doctor and spend tons of money on like meds and stuff. See, it's like the full circle of health life. And like I said, it's not like we never do these things. It's just we do it probably far less than most people, and it actually makes us think more about where our money is going to. It makes us think more about the types of foods that we're actually willing to eat, and it makes us enjoy it more when we go and do it. It makes it feel more special rather than just like, let's get takeout again. It becomes a really special thing. I have learned how to make a really delicious, wonderful latte in my own home. So I never buy takeaway coffees. They are just not worth it to me. And my husband, very sadly, has quit drinking coffee. I now no longer have an afternoon coffee. I only have one coffee in the morning, but I enjoy it. And I'm not ready to quit coffee yet. Maybe in the future I will also quit drinking coffee, but that day is not today. We have no credit cards. We have no personal loans. We don't owe money to anybody except the bank for our mortgage. Our mortgage payments are relatively modest. They are not too much. They're obviously way more. We want to pay $0, right? We want to pay off our mortgage, but they're not like insanely high that we can't manage it with the low income that we make. So, you know, very, very grateful that we were able to buy a house. Very grateful that my children have grown up in a safe, comfortable, nice environment, and that we're not up to our eyeballs in debt. The next thing I want to mention is my absolute favorite thing to do, which is buy things secondhand. I very rarely will buy things new. If I do buy things that are new, I will buy them when they're on sale or discounted, or I can't find them secondhand. But first step, secondhand. So I bought something yesterday that is brand new. It's never been used. It's a coloring book of the Psalms, and it just says original price US $9.99. I got it for $1. It has never been used. So this goes in my present stash. Obviously, with a large family, there's a lot of birthdays, there's Christmas, there's different events, there's birthday parties, there's extended family, there's different people to buy for. The biggest way that we save money through buying all the gifts for all the people is buying things secondhand and not being like this snob of like, I have to buy everything new. If we know the people that we are buying for really don't like secondhand things, I buy them new stuff. Because why buy a gift for someone with any kind of like condition on it? You give something to me with condition, I'm gonna disregard the condition, and I never apply conditions to people that I give gifts to. If they want to declutter it, sell it, give it away, throw it in the trash, that's their decision to make. But I will buy things like off season, or at the like end of the year when things are heavily discounted, or like at the end of summer and all the summer stuff is discounted heavily. I will buy bigger sizes that I know my children will grow into by the time summer comes around again, and I will stash those things away safely, and then I can just go down and I can grab the things that I need, and it lowers the pressure on me when it's like their birthday or Christmas. I don't understand procrastinating until the last second before an event, it creates so much stress, impulse buying, overspending, arguments, fatigue, all the things, right? Do yourself a favor and start thinking on the 27th of December about the next Christmas. Honestly, it's going to save a lot of money. We do not go overboard with buying gifts for people. And I'm going to say it, we don't buy gifts for everyone. We just cannot afford it. And a lot of people we just don't even really see. So if you're not really seeing a person, unpopular opinion, but why are we stressing ourselves even trying to think about the kind of things that they like, let alone spending more money buying them gifts? I will make homemade gifts. I do enjoy that. I'm just like a crafty person, so I like making things like quilts or food items or whatever, and I will gift them to people. I might even find fabrics and materials and stuff at op shops, and it makes it like, I don't know, better. Is it better? I don't know. If I give you a quilt and you throw it in the trash, burn it in fire, never tell me that you do that, because I'll be really sad. I buy in bulk. Not only because I have a mega family, but for our beef, we buy an entire cow at a time. And it is a bit of an outlay. We are getting absolute premium meat. We're getting fully grass-fed, organic, beautiful beef at a discounted price because we are buying it in bulk. But it's a couple $1,000s, right? And then we have a deep freezer down in our laundry, and we have all the bags are vacuum sealed. We invested in a vacuum sealer and vacuum seal bags to make the meat last longer. You're spending money on food. You want to properly store your food so that you're not wasting money throwing spoiled food away. You buy the food, you use the food, you eat the food, you store the food properly, and it will save you headaches of going to the shops more often and that terrible feeling of throwing away things that are forgotten in the back of the fridge. I mentioned that we buy things on sale. I also take advantage of things like my rewards card for Woolworths and Big W, and my flybuys card if I'm going to a place like Bunnings that uses flybuys card. I use the cards to my benefit. If I go to Savers, I will take donations so that I can get a 20% off voucher, and then I will do my shopping. I will not go to Savers unless I have a discount card. That's the way I roll. That's like my passion, is to get my 20% off at Savers. I also like shopping local. So if I can get something local to where I live, that's like a good thing to do. If I can get something with free shipping or postage, that is good. I do have Amazon Prime. It is worth it to me and my family because that's often where I can find the cheapest things for the things that we like to use. So it's all about like saving the money, getting the things that you want and that you will use and not waste, and you know, you find your ways to do it. Not every single thing at Aldi are things that I buy or that are a great price. Sometimes I will literally be standing in Costco and I will be price comparing, and that's where I realized that Milo is like $3 cheaper at Aldi than Costco. So constantly checking and comparing prices. Sometimes things become cheaper or more expensive, and you've got to sort of have your mind on the ball and take note of those price changes. We will clean, mend, and polish and tidy and look after all the things that we have to make them last longer. I do not upgrade tech things very often. I often have my phone for 6+ years or an iPad until it won't update anymore. I do not immediately upgrade just because something new has come out. I'm more than happy having my old stuff that I pay cash for than constantly trying to upgrade. I already said that I don't get takeaway coffees, but I also do not do things like get manicures and pedicures and facials and all these beauty things, right? I just try to be very content with what I have and not be out feeling like I need Botox or whatever thing a person does. It all costs money. There's going to be areas that I spend money on that you don't, or that you spend money and I don't. Definitely not even tempted in the slightest to spend money getting a manicure or a pedicure. I will read reviews for many things before I purchase them, and I will talk to people about what the item is, and I will research and I will look into it before I commit to a purchase. Often reading reviews and stuff like that makes you go, oh, this is a ripoff, or this thing's gonna break in 5 minutes. So I will read reviews for things. I practice just being myself, being my own person. And if I want to wear a navy blue shirt, then I wear a navy blue shirt. I will constantly hear people say things like, oh, that color's out, this color's in, this style's in, or that's no longer in and that's out. Who cares? If you like wearing particular clothing, you're not harming anybody, and your body is like covered up properly, then wear what you want to wear. So I just can't get myself completely freaked out and panicked about what looks are in and out. I like to try to look relatively nice, and then whatever, just be yourself. Ben and I have inexpensive in-house hobbies. So I like to sew. That's what I do. So I will get fabrics gifted to me from my Buy Nothing group, or I'll buy them at op shops, or I will save up my money, wait for a sale at Spotlight, and I have a lot of fabric. I have even found fabric on Hard Rubbish. So that's my hobby, and I can do it at home. I can do it in the little pockets of free time that I have. Having an inexpensive hobby saves on therapy for me. So when I'm sewing, I'm not really thinking about problems. I'm just focusing on what I'm doing, and hobbies save lives. So I think it's important to have hobbies, but sometimes I just think, how can you manage it? How can you manage having children, having a home, having all the things, and physically leaving to go and do a hobby? I already kind of said this before with DIY, but we do our own home maintenance. That's just what we do. We do our own home maintenance. We don't have a gardener. We don't have a mechanic. We do all our own car maintenance as well. Ben is very good at stuff like that. And unless it is a major service like a timing chain or belt, or, you know, really specialist, we will then go to a local mechanic. But otherwise, we just handle it ourselves. We regularly wash our vehicles. We wash our vehicles by hand. We do not go to a car wash to do it. We do it at home. And it's often a lot of fun because the kids want to join in and do stuff with us. So Ben will spray them with the hose and they have a good old time. But yeah, we look after our own vehicles to make them last as long as possible. We pay cash for our vehicles, and we do not buy new vehicles. I guess different strokes for different folks. We invest in quality. So sometimes initially I'm spending more money, but in the long run, it is lasting for a very long time. When I first had children 20 and 18 years ago, I got a lot of really good quality clothing, and I stored that clothing and looked after that clothing all the way through to 10 children. And I wasn't basically ever buying new clothing for any of my children. You invest in quality and it will last. Or if you can get quality from op shops, you can still look after that stuff, and that stuff will last a really long time as well. We have routines for doing things. So we have like packing away time. During packing away time, if the children come across something that is broken or needs to be washed or fixed or whatever, they can bring it to my attention, and then I can attend to it so the problem doesn't get bigger. And having routines for when we do things like car maintenance or stuff to do with the house or cleaning of filters or I don't know, whatever, right? Means you're regularly looking after the things that you have. You're ultimately going to save time, money, and effort overall. So yeah. I actually just thought of one more thing. Bonus is I never shop when I'm hungry. I use a shopping list. I have a shopping app on my phone that is shared between myself and my husband. And I have a menu plan. So all of these things all bundled up together mean that we're trying very hard to be wise with our money and to use the money that we have, not be down to zero, have savings, have the ability to do different things, sometimes spontaneously, sometimes planned, and overall, not putting ourselves under a huge amount of financial strain means that I live a very happy life. I mean, I live a happy life. I'm married to Ben Murphy. We are very blessed and fortunate that our 11 beautiful children are happy. We talk through issues that we may have, and we all get along really well. We have modeled to our children looking after their things, trying to be grateful, trying to be generous and be kind, to help each other out, not to let someone's, jumper be in the mud outside and be like, it's not my jumper, I can't deal with it. We're not perfect, but we try to model being really good people as best as we can. And the proof is in the pudding. Ben and I, especially me being home with the children, when they were younger, I put in so much effort to teach them how to be decent people that they're a pleasure. I can go anywhere now and they're not a problem. So have I demystified things a little bit? I am going to finish this video by saying Ben and I really are genuinely just frugal people. We like op shopping. We like buying things on sale. We like using what we have. We like saving money. We like looking after our stuff and looking after ourselves. So can you say that I'm in a really fortunate position? Well, on one hand, yes, because I have a happy marriage, wonderful children, and a good life, right? Do we have as much money as we want to have or probably need to have? No. Are we working to try to get more money so that we can have more resources? Yes. But in the meantime, we do the best with what we have, and we try to not sweat the small stuff. So there you go. I could go on and on forever, but I will let you go. If you enjoyed this video, make sure that you like this video or give it a thumbs up. Please comment below if any of these things were interesting to you, or they made no sense, or you thought Luke was really cute, or I don't know. You can leave your comments below. I will do my best to answer them, or if there's enough thumbs up on a particular comment or a particular question, I can do a video about it. So I'm trying to just do videos and be like a normal person. I'm your normal person, just happen to have 11 children, and I tend to talk really quickly, and that's just who I am. So I'm gonna go now. I hope wherever you are, you're having a wonderful day, and I will see you very soon in the next video. Oh, don't forget to subscribe so you can catch me the next time I upload. Until then, bye.